right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it is another great day here in Nick Land. Welcome to CFA Nation, CFam, Nick here.
Gabe, the crow eater. Okay, you see this? Gabe Mush. This is what this hat stands for, eating crow. Okay, and you can't make it up. You cannot make it up. What did I say? What did I say? I guarantee you, if I step outside right now, it is bright and sunny, all right? Not a cloud in the sky, but immediately it'll start raining because this black cloud just follows me. I'm going to get banned from everywhere. Nick. And people are going to be afraid for me to go to root for their team because they've seen the pain. The pain is real. This is what it's like to be a Knicks fan. This is what it's like to be me. You can't make it up. Gabe Mush.
Gabe, can I just say that I've never truly appreciated you being on the stream as much as I did yesterday. I mean, we were watching a match where India were struggling to get 150 by the 35th over, whatever nonsense it was. And I'm like, this is just – and it was tough the first two matches to see them get shellacked by Australia. And you know I got love for Australia and all our Australian fans, but I was rooting for India. It's tough to watch that. And, I mean, there were so many things that were going wrong. And then all of a sudden, we'll talk about him, both of them in a second, we had this masterful partnership. And I had the idea, like, wouldn't it be hilarious if Australia loses this match? And the one that – I mean, Gabe missed 200s off 62 by Smudgy. Probably his favorite player out there in international.
What takes me? I love you, Smudge. Why do you hate me? I heart you. Go back to every CFA video ever.
I so much you, that he Smudge. Put a personal war against Jaw for Archer.
Yes. Why do you hate me? I have not seen Smudge perform, and I've seen a lot of Smudge. In IPL, he was horrendous. Okay? He might have one good game. He was also equally as bad when we saw him play in T20. Smudge, you perform for Nick, but not me? What have I done to you? I don't.
He's jealous. Ooh, he's jealous. Listen, everyone. I know Australia, they won the series. Hats off. You had Steve Smith, the guy who hates you, player of the series. In this match, you have Hardik Pandya, player of the match. We'll talk about him. But Australia won the series 2-1. They're looking good in the rankings so far in ODI for the World Cup and all that kind of stuff, standings. But let me tell you one thing that's more important. Two things. First of all, it's how you finish, not how you start, and India finished well. Second of all, I'm undefeated because in the streams, I'm 1-0. I'm 1-0, okay? That's all I got to say. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are here for another edition of Our Three Wickets. Or 3 different ways for Gabe to cry. We'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about the third ODI match of Australia versus India. This was a whole lot of fun, not just because my best friend was on the stream with me and we were having some fun with the audience, but because India showed some life. We're going to get into all of that. Gabe, you know, you're struggling right now. Deep down, believe it or not, I do care about your feelings. I'm going to let you start off any way you want.
What do you think I'm going to start?
I was hoping.
What did I hate? Okay. Honestly, just one name, Abbott. And Abbott's your son's name. You know I love Abbott. Abbott's my man. But this dude, Abbott, is absolute. Oh, my God. He's on the Sinister Six. He's Sophie Echo still on. Move over. Abbott, you're on the Sinister Six. 84 runs. 84.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Pumped for runs. He was giving them away for free. He might have well just been hanging out on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard with a sign that says, "We'll bowl for food." Are you kidding me? This guy's in the death bowlers. Explain to me too, Steve Smith. Okay, you hate me personally. I don't know what I've done to you, Smudge. I've given you nothing but love on this show. Since the test series, I've given you love. I hated Jofra Archer specifically because of you, because of what happened at the Ashes. But just explain to me one question. Why did the Big Show Maxwell only bowl 5 overs, 27 runs, right? He had a 540 Academy rate, and we needed to get 10 overs out of Abbott? Explain. I don't get it. Oh my gosh, bro. I just Abbott, is horrendous. That bowling performance was absolutely horrendous. And again, if I'm going to crush him, I'm going to crush the guy that put the ball in his hands. I'm going to, yes, Steve Smith, you hate me personally. Maybe
Well,
Steve
remember, Finch is the captain.
Finch is a captain. Correction, Finch, what are you doing to me, Finch? What are you doing to me? Why? Why is he your best friend? Do you guys play Xbox together? Do you guys, hang out and got a bromance? What is it? Really? You could not see what was going on there, Finch?
Hey, Gabe's watching this match. He is? Got it.
That's what it is. Finchy hates me because of all the hate I gave him when he was horrible for RCB. Obviously, I don't get it. What did I hate? The bowling. There's nothing else to say. Forget about the performances. Well, there's one more thing I hate, and I'll talk about it. But really, Abbott, 10 for 84, 1 wicket. It was atrocious. And it could have been worse because, Nick, you kept saying it. Look, it's like Australia looked like they had 50 fielders out there. By the way, people who don't say sabermetrics and fielding doesn't matter, I will give Finch credit for that. It looked like Australia always had people in the right position because they saved so many boundaries. Go back and watch the tape.
So many.
Go back and watch the tape. I'm telling you, Abbott should have gave up 100 runs. 100 runs. Oh, my gosh. Disgusting. Every time he bowls, I'm turning the channel. You know how when you watch your team in baseball, Nick, I'm changing the channel. It's Abbott's over. Hold on. Let me do something different. I can't even watch him bowl again. I can't. I will pry my own eyes out. I can't. Why does Steve Smith hate me? Guys, go back in the CFA Nation. Since to show the test, I attacked Jofra Archer because he hit him, and I said it was intentional during the Ashes. I said how much talent this guy is. Nick, go back in all our streams. I've seen one good performance out of Steve Smith. And I get it. Gabe, you can't expect 100 or 50 every time. I get it. But I expect more than 7. I expect more than the ducks he gave me in the IPL. Why do you hate me, Steve Smith? I mean, is he related to Sophie Heckelstone? Does he have a crush on Sophie Heckelstone? I know she's apparently Australia's national crush.
Well, remember, he is married.
I know he's married. I don't know what to tell you. I'm helping you out, dude. Why does he hate me? 7 runs on 15 balls. That's a 466 strike rate. He couldn't even get to a 50 strike rate. Why? I don't know what I've done to you, Smudge. SB dude, whatever you want me to call you. If it's because of Campbell, then I'm going to tell you right now, then I guess we are going to be frenemies because I'm never forgiving him. But for right now, Abbott's on the list. I'm disappointed in Smudge again, Nick. That's what I hated. And of course, the fact that now I'm like 0-12 against you in the last 12 matches we've gone. It's ridiculous. Nick, what did you hate? I know what you're going to say.
Oh, that was too good. Just to piggyback on the Steve Smith stuff, you're absolutely right. But this is what I saw in the first 2 matches. Not a strike rate this poor, but he was finding himself in the first 15, 20 balls. And again, to congratulate myself, because I love to toot my own horn, what did I say before I got off? The 2 key factors are 2 early wickets, and one of those has got to be Smudge, right, before he gets going, because the first 2 matches, 15, 20 balls, he had a strike rate below 100, and then he lost his mind. And it's exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what happened. That was a beautiful thing. And surprise, surprise, they only won by 13. Let's not kid ourselves and think that it was a juggernaut. It was a huge, whatever, blowout. It was only by 13. Now, you're right. Some of those boundaries not being saved, it would have been 20 or 30. But still, it was close. And that smudgy wicket had to be the biggest one based on the kind of form he was going in. What did I hate? Okay, I'm going to be talking about the India side. I'm very, very happy that they came in with some life. They came with some energy. But what is going on with Dewan, the fielder, right? You look at the stat line. Look at the stat line, and you can say, but Nick, what are you talking about? It says right here in the stats that he caught Finch, that he caught Henriquez. And, that's pretty good for a fielder to get 2 catches. He dropped a gimme. He dropped a gimme early on when I wanted those early wickets, right? And then the one that he caught, I believe it was Finch. He caught it, and he had to run towards it. He caught it. He almost messed that one up. But then he was able to hold on to it and fall down. And it was almost like he was like, oh, thank goodness. Because he tried to. He tried to catch it. The cricket god said, no more. I did not like that fielding. I did not watch the entire inning when Indy was batting me because I was sleeping like a baby hoping that Christmas was going to come early, and it did. But I've watched the highlights. I've watched all the wickets from Australia, okay? Those were some of the things I did not like as far as Dewan. I also didn't like Dewan's performance as a batsman. 16 runs off 27 balls. I came on an over or two late after the stream started. And Gabe's like, I don't know what Dewan's doing, but he's just taking balls. He's not even swinging at them. He's not even offering at it. And I will never, ever subscribe to the whole fixing nonsense. But when a guy looks at 4 or 5 balls in a row, like, what else can you say? He did not look right. Maybe he wasn't feeling too well. Maybe he just had, like, aches and pains. This guy has been putting a lot of work recently. Who knows what it is? You don't really get the whole story. I don't think any athlete's ever 100%. They're beat up always. I don't know what was going on, but that as an opening partnership with Shubman Gill, and Shubman Gill did all right. In hindsight, yep, he did just enough. But that was not my favorite opening partnership. They came out of the gates the first 35 overs, and they came a little weak and a little soft. You're talking, I want to get to it right now because I want to make sure I get it accurate. It was, and just give me a few seconds because it's 100 overs here to go through. It was sorry about this. Here we go. The 33rd over, they had 155 runs. 34th over, they got 1 run and a wicket. Okay? So like I said earlier, I was actually right. Surprise, surprise, right? The 35th over, 150. They had their half of the score basically. And I had no idea what was going on. I was trashing Kohli, and people were like, he just got 60. How are you trashing him? Because the strike rate, because I don't mind you play conservative, but don't go out the way you went out when you play conservative the entire time. Now, in hindsight, 302, we needed every single bit of his 63. So he's not the dog right here. I don't dislike Kohli's performance, but it made me extremely nervous. I did not like the way they started off. But whatever happened in over 35 and the rest of the match, I saw the Australia I was excited to see. I saw fielding on the highlights. I saw wickets. I saw amazing batting performances, and they kept Australia. It's a different pitch. They kept Australia to 289. But now I'm getting to things I like. What else did I not like? There was quite a few things that I actually did not like. Let's talk about the bowling for a second. All right. We had a much better bowling performance by far, but not Rajan. Okay, I like this guy. He's a spinner. He got himself 2 wickets. That's great. But he still had a high economy rate. The high economy rate killed India the first 2 matches. And I'm not going to kill Natarajan. This guy's been off for a few matches. He comes in. He got himself some huge wickets, especially that first one. But we've got to keep the runs lower. When Maxwell goes in there, he is shooting 6s left and right. You got to be careful with those kind of guys. But now I'm grasping at straws. Overall, I appreciate what Natarajan did. All the bowlers did better than the group of bowlers the first 2 matches. So I'm going to stop right there. Gabe, what did you like?
I mean, I'll keep it really simple, man. With the exception of Abbott, who got destroyed, okay? Hazelwood, 10 overs.
Monster.
He had that maiden over, got a wicket. He was great, okay? Glenn Maxwell, the big show. 5 for 27. Now I understand why they call this guy the big show. Remember, we didn't see a lot of him in the IPL, but he seriously performed. And Glenn Maxwell not only did it with the bat, but with the ball, but did it with the bat. A 155 strike rate when Australia desperately needed runs. 59 runs, 38. He's not the reason they lost. He did everything he could. Glenn Maxwell was probably their best performer today. Finchy, he had a mixed performance, okay? His strike rate was under 100, but still, 75 runs. You need those runs. But Finchy got dropped 3 times. One of them, to your point, it was like, I think it was a Dewan drop, right? It was an edge. It went back. It hit him in the hands. And I'm like, man, but I saw the same thing with Dewan. Those drops happen. It gives you guys life. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's part of the game. You're not going to say, oh, no, I got dropped. I shouldn't go out there and score. So he put up that 75, but it was with the assistance, I should say, of those drops. But for me, the big show, Glenn Maxwell showed up and Josh Hazelwood. You know what I mean? That's what I liked on Australia's side. Nick, what did you like on the India side?
Yeah, Glenn Maxwell, I watched his highlights. It is so fun to watch this guy bat. You're right. We got cheated in the IPL. We did not get to see any of this. I mean, he was like an old man in the IPL. Now he's cutting loose, having amazing performances once again, 59 and 38 balls. This guy is unbelievable. Just to piggyback some more on Australia, I would venture to say, I get why Smith was player of the match. I get it, or the series. I would venture to say that Finch is not too far behind. I did not like his captaincy decisions in this third match, but this guy gave you 60 plus in all 3 matches. This guy, he had a low strike rate each time, but he's in that opening partnership. He's got a job to do. I was really impressed with him. Getting to India, what did I like? Oh, there was so much to like. I'm going to throw Kohli in there. Now, I brutalized him for his captaincy. He gave us a win in Australia, backs against the wall. He had to make 4 big changes. He made those changes. He put in Gill. He put in Natarajan. He put in Thakur. And he brought in, who's the last one I'm missing? Maybe it was 3 changes. I thought it was 4 changes.
No,
Sorry about that. Yadav.
Kuldeep Yadav,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different pitch, different expectation, but he had 4 changes. And for the most part, all those changes, even Yadav got until the big catch, they all paid off. I loved the fielding placement. People say, oh, it's just luck. I don't think so. If it's luck, then the luck was on their side, but they bowled out Australia. Okay, don't forget about that. They bowled out Australia. Australia only had 3 balls left, but they were only 13 runs down. Those 3 balls are huge. They bowled them out. Great placement. Great selection of when to put the bowlers in there. And great lineup decision to have Pandya and Jadeja where they're at. Now, that's not really a no-brainer. They've been there the entire time. But I'm going to give him a whole lot of credit. And his 63, even though it took a while, even though I feel like he took 5 to 6 overs off, it got the job done. But what did I really like? Hardik Pandya, 92 on 76. We're not there yet. I'm going to get to that in a second. Pandya only 1-6 and the man got 92. He started off with a strike rate below 100. I love the strike rate of 100 or more. He started below. He did the exact thing that I was arguing and I was fighting about and having nice little banter with the viewership yesterday with Kohli's performance. Shot selection. It's all about shot selection. Take those ones, defend if you need to, but when you get a chance at a 4 for a 6, go for it. That's exactly what Pandya did. It was a masterful performance. He saved the match. That's why he was player of the match. Without him, India does not win, no question. But then he's got a friend, okay? This was Kohli's best thing in my opinion. I got inside information, all right? You're not going to find this anywhere else. I got inside information in the locker room. This is tongue-in-cheek, but I have inside information. The best decision that Kohli made was when Jadeja goes out there to start his performance, and he started off slow. Kohli got in his ear, and he said, we're down 0-2. It's looking ugly. I just went out. We need Excalibur. I had no idea Jadeja was a knight of the round table. How come no one told me he was from Camelot? I would never have trashed him if I knew he was from Camelot. This guy not only is from Camelot, he brought Excalibur. His performance when he was going 4, 4, 6, 6, 4, 4, and he was getting to 50 in a heartbeat, and he busted out the sword. That was probably one of my favorite moments of all time in the streams. I was clowning this guy. Why is he on here? Why is he on? Yeah. I understand why they call him Sir Jadeja. He's been knighted by King Arthur. This guy is fantastic.
Oh, my God.
Told him to bring out Excalibur. He's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Unbelievable. But with all jokes aside, 66 off 50. At one point, he was like 12 on 30 or something. Right. This guy turned it on when they needed at the end of the overs. It was a beautiful thing to watch. I absolutely loved it. But guess what? The love doesn't stop right there. We finally saw Bumrah today or yesterday. Did Bumrah not show up? This guy, low economy rate, 4.5, 2 wickets. And not to mention the last wicket, right? This guy, he got a new haircut and he was a new man. He looked fresh. And there was one ball where it got hit right at him, and it was an impossible fielding. He almost caught that. When he had to have a quick reflex.
That was one of the fifth drops. Yeah.
Was in the zone, right? I love seeing Thakur too with his 3 wickets. There was so much love to go around, but Jadeja, that was so much fun. Pandya, you are the man. Kohli, good call about Excalibur. Great job. Gabe, that's what I liked.
What did I learn? Really simple. One statement. Coin flip. Holy cow. Going first is such a difference. It just changes it more than in any other sport. It changes the mentality of the other team, the chasing team. And people have said it all the time, guys, chasing is not easy. I don't get it. I was doing some research, bro. And gambling should probably in cricket, I'm sure it's out there and all these big gamblers know what the deal is. But the odds, bro, of winning, especially when you're home and you win that coin flip, bro, you're looking at like 78%. You can't buy odds like that in Vegas. If that happened in Vegas, bro, the casino would get burned, bro, because it's cheating. People would say it's cheating right away. You need to win that coin flip, and it's such an arbitrary thing. But really simple, that's the biggest thing I learned today. What a difference chasing makes. Nick, what did you learn?
What I learned is yet another layer to how difficult it is to be a captain in not India, in cricket. And I've been giving Kohli a hard time. He shouldn't step down from the team. He should step down as a captain. You have to consider the different pitches you're going to be at, the different conditions, the different players you're going to have in those conditions, the weather, all that. That's a lot to keep track of. Not to mention you're going into Australia. You're going into like the danger zone, and you've got to be prepared. I loved what Kohli did as a bounce back, and I give him a whole lot of credit for this win. I do. I give him a lot of hate and a lot of anger when they lose, a lot of credit when they win. He made great decisions. He was able to play this pitch perfectly, better than Australia was able to with his team. I learned that it's super, super difficult. I liked the fight that I saw in him and in his team. And I learned that even though Australia was the better team in this series, don't forget about my boys, India. Don't forget about them because they went into Australia. They stole a win. They won a win. I don't want to say stole, but that was fantastic. That's what I learned. The question is, guys, what did you learn? What did you like? What did you dislike? Give us your comments. Give us all that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for always being there for us. And until next time.
That's 6 runs.